Let's watch it to you. Yeah, that'll work. Hey, Live Life, what's going on, man? Omar, how you doing? Got the SM26 here. Machined up, ready to work on the Glock 26. Still needs to go through some testing. And once it survives testing, it goes into production. Georgetown RMR flat optic cut, same as the other ones. This is the 26 Turbo. Just a scaled down version of the 19 and 17 Turbo. And this is what it looks like in stainless. Still needs some finishing work done to it. Needs to be sanded. A little bit of extra deburr work. William, what's going on? But there's the 26. People have been asking for it. And we're almost ready. FE Ordnance, what's going on? Got our 26. Well, precursor to the 26. It still needs a little bit of testing. She's almost ready. Go through some good range testing. If we like what's going on with it, then we'll go into regular production. But Stiffler Manufacturing's 26 style slide. We're doing testing on a Gen 4, but it'll run Gen 5. Also getting some more shipments ready tonight. Get them sent out tomorrow. Actually, we've got a, 19 burnt bronze slide. Where are we sending this out to? Zoom burnt bronze 19. Going out to Maryland, of all places. DDTC, what's going on, man? Say hello to our 26. Gonna be doing some range testing soon. And if we like it, then yeah, it's going into production. About damn time, I know. Cat.
Too much, just try and let it happen. I just didn't
See a little cat. There we go. Got this 19. Gonna send this off to Maryland. Oh, nice. And for those of you that have never seen our slide packaged, here we are. They are in bubble wrap inside a plastic case. They get wrapped in polymer and sent off. Christopher Lewis, what's going on, man? Might have to scrape this. Thank you. Yep, super excited to get this 26 off to the range. This will be our third range trial with it. And because I'm doing a live again, the cat is spazzing out, per usual. But yep, it'll need some more processing. We'll have to do some sanding work on it. The edges are still kind of sharp. Real easy to cut your finger on them. But for just going to the range, yeah, we'll just throw some gloves on it and run it as is. No lube, no oil. We'll just go to the range and run it as is. If it can't run dry, then should be similar to the 19, I think, but we haven't gotten fully dialed in on prices yet. We're still working on getting some steel orders for large production, and a few of the steel manufacturing plants, they don't want to cut the bars they have down to what we want, which would reduce the price. So that's becoming an issue. And they're like, they could, but we have to order way more than we think we'll sell in 26s to make it worth it. So we'll have to talk to them and, you know, see what kind of arrangement we can come to. Otherwise, we're using larger bars, and that's going to affect the cost. But we'll see. And that's also going to potentially become an issue with the 43 as well. Just coming to a good price point on steel. Oh, yeah, we'll have all the colors for it. Everything we currently have, we'll have for that as well. Let's see. This is coming in at 12.2 ounces. And let's account for packaging. If we can up the weight without increasing the price, yeah, let's do that. Yes, we can. Absolutely. All right. Now, I don't know how this happened, but apparently eBay has automatically changed all of our shipping weights. And I don't appreciate it. So we're going through and fixing a lot of them. Oh man, thank you guys so much. I didn't even notice the likes. Thank you so much. Another conversation we'll probably have today is just, 2A in general. Part of this is inspired by a conversation I had. How to describe the gentleman. Liberal to the communist extreme, I suppose, is how I will describe this gentleman. Now, this gentleman, and I'm using gentleman generously here, believes that his people are going to be imminently under attack by the U.S. government. And I said, okay, well, what are you doing about it? And this conversation just devolves into basically, why aren't you armed? And we had long discussions about, American history in its darker points, and about how armed people were able to resist being accosted. And then also the history of Europe and other nations, how armed people were able to resist being accosted by their government, by other groups, what have you. And, this conversation goes on and on and on. And gets to the point where he's like, well, we do have some groups, that are, trying to figure stuff out, and, the logistics of it, blah, blah, blah. Won't bore you with the details. I'm like, that's okay. And he's like, why would you care? And I'm like, well, look, man, we might not agree politically ever, but you are an American and you have a right to the Second Amendment. What you do with that, consequences be on you. If you decide to go do some crazy, stupid stuff with it or illegal stuff with it, that, consequences be on you. And this devolves further where basically he gets to this point, well, the reason my people have firearms is because we feel that we're under threat by the government and other groups. And he's like, and your group only has guns as some kind of cultish fetish of the Second Amendment. Which I found incredibly amusing. And you could tell just the tone of his voice, he's being very disrespectful about it. And I was treating it all in good humor, which seemed to aggravate him further. And, of course, he said the famous line I'm sure some of you have heard before. What are you going to do with your rifles against like an F-35? And I'm like, what's your little ninja militia going to do, with your rifles against F-35s? And he's like, well, we're defending our existence. And I'm like, and so are plenty of other people. Their homes, their family, their property, their friends, their neighborhoods. Everybody's defending something. But he has it in his head that because he is resisting something, that he has more rights than you to do the same. Whether his resistance perceived or real, however you want to look at it, his resistance is more worthy a cause than you. And I called him out on that. To which he just got angrier and angrier. I'm like, man, if you're just this angry having a dialogue, maybe you shouldn't, just on a personal level, maybe you shouldn't consider owning a firearm. You got some stuff to work on. And he, of course, took some offense to that and got angrier and angrier. But the way we view it is that if you are an American, you have an absolute right to the Second Amendment, and that you should exercise that right at your discretion. Some people are going to be more comfortable. Some people are going to be more trained, less comfortable. So exercise it at your discretion. Practice firearm safety and train. And if you don't have somebody you can train with, seek people out. I don't care what your political affiliation is. I don't care what your religion is. I don't care what your background is. If you're an American, you have a right to the Second Amendment. And if you are practicing the Second Amendment, you have a duty and custodianship to the Second Amendment, an obligation to teach and discuss and practice. And be safe. But that seems to be lost on some people. Especially this guy, who I was chatting up. And it had, just evolved and evolved further in that conversation. And I basically told him that if he honestly felt that he was under legitimate threat by the government and other groups, that why are he and his fellows not taking appropriate actions to prevent such threat? And he's like, well, we're not the violent ones, as he is also forming this, secretive ninja militia. So lots of contradictions. Shoo, what's going on, man? Lots of contradictions in this conversation. And he did not like a lot of the things, I guess the absolutism I had about the Second Amendment and all Americans. And it even went on to other countries, and it's like, well, what do you think about other countries? I'm like, they need to do what's best for them. If that means they think they need to be armed up, hey, more power to them. But their decision on gun ownership is not America's decision. Like, while I'm incredibly disappointed in that Britain keeps destroying historical firearms, that's Britain. There we are. Got this all wrapped up. We'll get some bubble wrap. We'll get some packing paper. We'll get some polymer bags. And we'll get this sent off to Maryland. Haven't sent a slide to Maryland in a little while. And for those of you just joining us, welcome to Stiffler Manufacturing, where we turn bars of steel into gun slides for the Generation 3 Glock 19 and Glock 17, and our brand new 26. We're still working on it, still hammering out some details, but she's almost ready. Oh, hey, Shoo, yeah. So this is off the machine, and it still needs some work, and it's still, we still need to do some test shooting. But this is for the 26. And this is our first 26 slide. Work in progress. What's going on, man? So, of course, we've been making 19 slides, for almost 3 years. We've been making 17 slides for like a year and a half. And we are now starting on 26 slides. And just like our 19 and our 17, the 26 will have a Trijicon RMR flat optic cut, like you see right here. So that's good for things like Holosun 507C, Gideon Optics Omega, Siley Optics Wolf Series. Anything that fits the Trijicon RMR. I own a 26. It's not my favorite pistol. That said, I do want to try out the Glock Store 26X frame. Oh yeah, people have been asking for a 26 shoe, so we've been working on one. And, you'd think it'd be just as easy as scaling down a slide. Yeah, it comes with its own problems. Turns out reducing size is kind of a pain in the butt. I mean, it's the same thing like with the 19. The 19 frame's fine, but the 19X frame is just better, especially if you have larger hands. The 19X frame is so much better. So, 17 frame with a 19 slide, basically. So, again, for men, or just, people who have really big hands, the 26 is kind of a pain. But it's a good concealed carry. People like it. Some people prefer it over the 43 even. So I think with this Glock Store 26X frame, we might see a bit of a revival in 26 builds. My only issue with the 26X frame from Glock Store is that it's $150 without a parts kit. G23, what's going on, man? Say hello to our 26 in progress. Oh, thank you guys so much for the likes. I'm up to 14 now. That's awesome. Oh, you got a 49? I know. Everybody wants the slide we don't have yet. Got to finish the 26 first, though. We're actually going to have to go buy some 43s. Probably a 43, 43X, maybe even a 48. And so we can do some comparison against the ones we're going to be making. Because, again, for those of you new who haven't seen us before, this is one of the bars of steel we use. We mill it down into the slide. And so right now, production on the 19 and the 17 on tolerance and spec comparison between OEM and us, we're about 5 thousandths off, which is a piece of a hair. So pluck a hair from your head, and that is the difference between a Glock slide from, that's OEM and an aftermarket Stiffler slide. Yeah, we'll probably do a Viper. It'll be the turbo first, so, front grip serrations, and then top ported window. For those of you that have never seen a Viper before, this is one of our Vipers. It has side ported windows as well as a top ported window. So there's a little bit more weight reduction on there. But yeah, we will probably do it's going to be a little, as you can tell, it's smaller. So it's going to be a little bit different. Like, it'll still be a Viper, but, it's going to be a more compact, rounded window. Can't really call it triangular, more of a rhombus, parallelogram. The top one's more triangular. Yeah, we'll have to get them in comparison, because if we're gonna make the 43, we might just choose to make the 48 at the same time. And the 43X is longer, as I recall. But our head's not on that one right now. It's on the 26 until we finish it, and then once we're ready to work on the 43, boom, we'll be really good at the 43. Oh, there you go. Yeah, go for that. I'm actually disappointed that PSA doesn't make a 17 or a 26 frame. Super disappointed. I'd love to have more frames to test it against. I mean, we have an OEM frame for the 26, so we're good there. But, like, they have a 43 frame for PSA. It's the Dagger Micro. And we're testing, once we start making 43s, we'll have that frame as well as an OEM frame to test on. The Glock Store R Cut. Not familiar. Oh, and this question did come up. People were asking, with the V series, are we still going to keep making Gen 3s? Yes. Yes, absolutely. Oh, okay, that's what the R cut is. Okay. Interesting. Oh, for the 26, it's going to start out being black, and then we're going to move on to everything else. We'll have, like Hunter Orange, Gold, Shimmer Aluminum, Bright Purple, Arctic White, Burnt Bronze, USMC Red, all kinds of stuff. Is it? I'd have to go look it up again. I don't even have 43 on my brain for... Like, I know we're doing it in the future. I've brain dumped it. Until we start working on it. Let's see. I need this. Oh, there we go. There is our bubble wrap. There is our polymer bag. And Kat, what are you doing? I leave for like 10 seconds, and you're already trying to attack my phone charger again. Silly cat. With millions in circulation, hard not to make the Gen 3s. Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, with the whole V-Series thing, the clone market is going to keep Gen 3 to Gen 5 alive. Speaking of, because it is Veterans Day coming up, from today to the 12th, it is 20% off our red, white, and blue slides. Strip slides, anyway. Cat, would you stop freaking out? The cat loves all of my wrapping paper and stuff. You tell every Marine, and you tell them Stiffler sent you, that hoorah is like saying hooah, but, you know, with a dick in their mouth. Go Army, beat Navy, and that the Marines are part of the Navy. If they have issue with that, they can come play with our Stiffler. Nah, love the Marines. They know we love them. Need a blue one now? And Marine stands for my ass rides in Navy equipment. Cat, you are a little spaz. But yeah, you know, it's funny enough that we're coming up on the Marine Corps birthday, because last year, Meta, and they're still in progress on doing this. We are still no longer recommendable on Facebook for wishing the United States Marine Corps a happy birthday last year. Why? Because Mark Zuckerberg hates veterans. I don't frickin' know. Also, he hates the Constitution. That I'm absolutely sure about. Zuckerberg is an e-commie. Dude can say what he wants. He hates America, clearly. The First Amendment and the Second. Probably hates the Fourth Amendment. Probably hates the Fifth, too. Wants to force you to speak. So does Reddit. So does Linktree. I'm being all bitter right now. Oh, you could be a whore on Reddit or Linktree, but God forbid you have a Second Amendment related business, you can talk about drugs and using drugs and selling drugs, and they won't ban you for that. You can prostitute yourself, and they won't ban you for that. But guns, yep, that's where they draw the line. Unless you're talking about doing, like, you know, hood rat criminal shit. They won't ban you then. Man, we all 2A whores. I just find that funny, you know. No judgment. If you want to go, you know, prostitute yourself, or if you want to go do drugs or whatever, by all means, that's on you. That's your life. You do you. I just find it amusing that those platforms have an issue with guns, but not other things. There we are. And by all means, feel free to ask questions. 2A has always been a target. Yeah, 2A is always going to be a target. There's always somebody out there that wants you less armed than they are, especially when they have power. Oh, here we are, almost ready to send this off. Let's get this packing slip in here. Check it against the shipping label. Crazy cat. But yeah, you know, had that long conversation with the guy, and it's just one giant contradiction where he was pro his side having guns because he feels like they're legitimately under threat, but nobody else could have guns. And I was like, well, what if other people feel like they're under threat? He's like, well, they're not under threat. I'm like, according to who? Like, are you the authority on who's under threat and who's not? How did that work out for you, G23? Oh, you know, there is and I'm not going to name the group, because I don't like to get into that. There's only a few times where we actually talk about other businesses and groups. But, so they're a group, and how do I phrase this? They've become aware of the Second Amendment and their right as Americans to utilize that. They are arming themselves, good for them. They are asking questions and training and trying to figure information out, good for them. But then criticize every business, large and small, that does not support their political ideals. And as you can imagine, a lot of 2A related businesses are conservative. Because, you know, what group of people tends to support the Second Amendment? I disagree with that. I think all Americans should support the Second Amendment. It shouldn't be a left or right issue. It should be an American issue. But on a business level, I understand it, wherein why would a business that is related to, you know, the 2A industry politically support people that want to ban the 2A. Now, I haven't bothered looking into this at all. I can talk about this part of it. I haven't bothered. So feel free to look it up and, prove me wrong and or get me info, whatever. But apparently, Sig Sauer, according to this group, is going to donate $50 to Turning Point USA for every so many guns they sell. Are they doing that? I don't know. I didn't bother looking. But the group criticized that and said, well, we're not going to buy another SIG. Not because of how the P320, M17, M18 was handled, but because apparently SIG would be donating money to Turning Point USA, which they have political ideologies against. I'm sure you can imagine what those are. So, other people commented, and they were like, do you not know anything about 2A related businesses and who they support politically? Like, good luck finding a 2A related business that is, on your side of the political spectrum. Because your side of the political spectrum has tried to ban it in all its facets. Hey, PVS, what's going on, man? Good until I had a wheel stud broke and made... Ow, freaking cat. That's my toe. You are all becoming familiar with the cat. Slowly. One live at a time. Little spastastic cat. Hey, PVS, what's going on, man? We have the 26. Our 26 slide. Almost ready. Okay, yeah, so they're doing a limited donation thing. All right. So, yeah, they said they are not going to buy anything from SIG, and I'm like, I didn't say anything. But because other people were already saying it, and they're like, you should look into every single gun business and who they've donated to, because it probably, or, if not donated to, who they've supported politically, because the stuff that you like, all of a sudden you can't buy any more of. And it's like, well, yeah, it's just, the need for survival. It's not like there's anybody on the other political aisle, on the other side of it, that is supporting their industry. So who are they going to support? The group that's supporting their industry. It just makes sense. And this was a very difficult concept for a lot of them to understand. Oh, yeah, yeah. And people are like, oh, well, you like Smith & Wesson? Okay, well, hey. Oh, you like Ruger? Oh, well, hey. Oh, you really like PSA? Take a look at what PSA is doing. And it's like if you were on one side of the political aisle and all of a sudden you have discovered your gun rights, hey, good for you. But you're going to suddenly find yourself not buying any guns if you are anti every business that has supported somebody who's pro 2A. Any particular reason, G23? We have them out of necessity. They're cheap. They come with a parts kit installed, and we can use them for testing with our slides. In addition to the Glock OEMs we have, and SCTs, and someday we'll stop using the P80s because I I can't get any more P80s. Don J, what's going on? Take a look at our 26. Not without paying an arm and a leg, and a P80 is not worth an arm and a leg. Not to me, anyway. There we go. Got its Fragile sticker all up in there. Ready to go off to Maryland. Gonna go with some subpar steel over Stiffler Manufacturing. You gotta have your short Stiffler. It's just shy. It'll grow when it needs to. Oh, there we go. My Stiffler is tiny, don't judge. I tried buying mags from them, and they wouldn't send to Oregon because they are worried about the... Oh, yeah. I mean, we're kind of dealing with the same thing with California. Though I guess we get to update our website to July instead of, you know, January, which is nice. Pour some water on it and maybe grow a little. I had to get a buddy to order them, and I drove to his house. Do what you got to do, man. The communism in some of these states, I swear. Good man, yes you do. That is our 26. Our first one. Oh yeah, you sent me something about that. I was looking through it, but a lot of it looked like it was 3D printing stuff. I wasn't sure. Yep, California passing another anti-gun law. Shocker. Yeah, I'm just in Arizona, so it sucks to be me, being right next to them. But our laws are great. But we do have to deal with a lot of their bullshit. There we go, let's pull you out, and let's put you here. Well, by bullshit, mostly what we get is Californians that come to visit Arizona and talk about how great California is. I'm like, dude, your cops pull you over for muffler issues and then impound your car until you prove them right in court. Or prove them wrong, rather. At the very bottom, it changes the definition of firearm parts and accessories. Oh, damn, I'll have to research that then. That is such a shame. Or I just chat GPT it. What was the name of the assembly bill? I think you had sent it to me, but I've sent so many messages. I don't know where you are in my message chain now. Because we still got our new 20% off sale for Stiffler Manufacturing, so. Veterans Day. Red, white, and blue. You can see it on our website. California, New York, stand. Oh, man. AB 1263. Okay. Cat, if you push that off the table. Yeah, I'm looking at you. Okay, so let's see here. California Assembly Bill 1263 tightens California's rules around quote-unquote ghost gun digital files and the sale/distribution of certain firearm parts and accessories. And it will raise compliance costs and restrict some out-of-state/direct-to-consumer channels for sellers and buyers. Okay. Makes it unlawful to knowingly cause or facilitate the unlawful manufacture of firearms, explicitly including manufacture via 3D printers or CNC machines, and distribution of digital firearms. Okay. Treats computer-aided manufacturing files, digital firearm manufacturing code as regulated and... Seriously? And creates civil and criminal liability for persons or platforms that publish, host, or encourage distribution of those files in ways that facilitate unlawful manufacture. Requires firearm industry members to follow new seller duties for certain accessories, barrels, and components. Okay. Including providing clear notices and verifying purchaser age/identity before completing sale. What the fuck, California? Okay, before I get any further into that, I'm going to read this real quick. YouTube, this video may contain copyright material in accordance with the fair use doctrine under U.S. copyright law. The content is intended for education, commentary, and criticism for further discussion and meaningful discourse. We do not sell firearms. Stiffler Manufacturing, LLC is a veteran-owned business registered in the state of Arizona that has a physical brick-and-mortar workshop and online retail store. We sell products that are lawful in all 50 states and not restricted by any federal law. Blah, 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 blah. It's going to jack shipping costs, huh? Oh, yeah, probably. We're all going to get kicked off eventually, G23. Okay, let's take a look here further. No, go away. No food for you. Go away. Stop playing with my cord. Go away. Accessory and barrel sellers, especially out-of-state sellers shipping into California, will face greater compliance burdens. The law's notice verification and industry member duties mean remote sellers may need to implement age/ID checks. How the hell do they want us to do that? Add statutory notices and possibly change shipping practices, raising costs and reducing convenience for buyers. Okay. Let's see. And this starts January 1st, 2026. Great. Okay, so short answer, no. California Assembly Bill 1263 does not specifically single out pistol slides for new criminal restrictions. The bill mainly targets distribution of digital firearm manufacturing codes, STL, CAD, CAM files, and certain accessories and firearm barrels. Okay. So per AB 1263, we're still probably not going to ship barrels and completes then. But I think it's leaving parts and accessories kind of vague. However, they want us to look into new seller duties for age and ID proof and conspicuous notices. That's what we're going to have to look into, is the age and ID portion. Because I don't want to take people's IDs. I don't want to check for that. If we were an FFL, yeah, absolutely, but we're not an FFL. My main concern is do they consider magazines, slides, triggers, rails, and lower upper parts kits restricted? They gave themselves a lot of wiggle room. Yeah, that's going to be a lawsuit. You'll have to get a copy of their driver's license. You'll have to get a video positive identifying. Screw that. Yes. Yes, they should, Donjay. Get everything you need before any of this is implemented. They'd probably be panic buying a bunch of stuff. Yeah, probably. We might have to consider next month on like the last week to do a California sale. Because holy crap. If you sell physical slides, review whether your product or listing language could be read as facilitating manufacture. Example, build kit language paired with CNC advice. If not, slides are unlikely to be directly covered, but consider updating terms and CA shipping policies to limit risk. Watch for Department of Justice guidance and implementing regulations. Yeah, this might kill us just shipping to California entirely. Federal law requires you to be 21 to purchase handgun parts and receivers from a licensed dealer. That's not what we are. Okay, so that information is not helpful. Stocking up on parts kits because Washington State and now California are restricting them, so I figure Oregon will be... Oh, yeah. Yeah, Oregon might be next. Yeah, the only place in America that we have ever restricted in the past is American Samoa, which is a U.S. territory. And the only reason we restrict them is because handguns are illegal there. There's no point in us shipping slides to them. It should be. If all goes well with this thing. With this testing that we're doing. Because we're planning on taking it to SHOT Show with us, which is coming up in January. Let's see. Now let's see, what does California consider a firearm accessory? That's what we want to find out. Under the text, the relevant section of the Civil Code amending Firearm Industry Responsibility Acts, or FIRA. Sounds stupid. Firearm accessory means an attachment or device designed or adapted to be inserted into, affixed onto, or used in conjunction with a firearm that is designed, intended, or functions to increase a firearm's rate of fire or to increase the speed at which the person may reload the firearm or replace the magazine, or any other attachment or device described in subdivision A, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So yeah, increased rate of fire or how fast a person can reload, or whatever devices convert it into California's definition of a quote-unquote assault weapon. Pistol slides are not considered firearm accessories under AB 1263. They are considered firearms components or parts. If the slide is sold as part of a kit that could be used to manufacture an unserialized firearm, or advertised or distributed alongside digital manufacturing codes. Okay. Okay, so no complete kits, no barrels. Now we just got to figure out the ID thing. Okay, so no do-it-yourself build kits. Okay. Okay, so yes, our slides are not considered an accessory. They are considered a part. Yeah, oh man, it's gonna be like a whole research thing all weekend. Oh, screw you, California. It's not worth continuing sale of anything to California. Yeah, that might be the case, Don J. I'm sorry, dude. Calvin, that sounds like a great deal. I mean, it's not the best deal I've seen, but considering some places are selling them for $600 right now, that's not bad. Yeah, that's a pretty good hit there, man. Good job. So are they trying to prevent 3D printed, or yeah, that looks like what they're trying to do, Shoo Shoo. Nevada's not super great. I mean, Nevada helped take down Polymer 80. But definitely better than California. Yeah, they'll work with our 26 slide. Yeah, 26 ported barrels, because it's based off the Glock OEM, specifically the Glock 26 Gen 4, and it'll be backing up compatible with the Gen 3 and the Gen 5, because there's really not much difference between them. Oh God, yeah. 700 and oh Jesus, that's way too much. And we know, you might want to get an RXM while you can too, because we'll see what happens there. But I mean, we also want to see if Ruger's actually going to fight or not. If Ruger fights, I'd say yeah, go buy an RXM. But we'll see. You still want a California-specific shipping disclaimer. All products sold in compliance with California law. We do not sell or distribute digital manufacturing files or precursor frames and receivers. How to do age and ID verification, though? Reasonable controls to prevent the sale, blah, 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 blah. The statute doesn't prescribe a single method. It just requires reasonable controls. California Department of Justice Consumer Protection Guidance describes several industry standard methods that satisfy this. Oh my God. Oh, fuck you, California. Use a third-party age verification API or checkout plugin. Prompt customers to upload or scan their ID? Absolutely not. Manual documentation. No. No. No, I don't want to do any of this. The only even slightly acceptable one is a third-party age verification app plugged into the website. And a lot of those look like you still have to plug in your ID. Fuck. Oh man, this went off the rails. I was just going to be talking about the sale and the 26th tonight and some 2A stories. Oh. This sucks. Right on, Shoo Shoo. You have a good night, man. Holy crap. This is some grade A bullshit. Can we excommunicate California from the, country? Can we just, drop some charges and, force them off the mainland? We don't need their ideas spreading. Oh my God. Oh. Oh. 23, man. What the heck? We don't need to keep copies of the... I don't trust it. I don't trust that it wouldn't keep some sort of flash copy of their ID. Okay, so at checkout. Now this one I wanted to do anyway, just to cover our asses for other stuff. But at checkout, require customers to select a box confirming they're 18 plus and U.S. residents. That's fine. For California addresses, automatically trigger an ID verification step using a plugin. That I'm not okay with. I'm not even sure how we could get that added to the website. We probably have to hire somebody to do that for us. And keep a compliance log. Oh, God. Okay. Oh, this is not going to be a fun Monday coming up when we have to go and talk to everybody at the shop. The third party absolutely would, so you would have to keep a copy of the yeah. Oh, fuck. Nope, we might have just stopped shipping to California. Yeah. Oh my God. Well, ain't that a kick in the daddy bag? Don J, I mean, if you visit Arizona, there's multiple gun shops here with our slides. I mean, we've got Sirius Arms up in Prescott. We've got the hub in Tucson, Mesa, and Lakeside. And then we've got Task Force Red in Tucson. Delivered or shipped? Because I can't control the U.S. Postal Service. So as long as we ship it before December 31st. G23, do some more Stiffler content. We'll talk, man. We'll get you a discount code. Then again, he does say Stiffler rules in just about every live, so I'll talk to Miss Stiffler about it. Gentlemen, this is some grade A bullshit. It just says effective. I think we'll probably be covered under that. Oh, yeah, I feel you there. Well, when we went out to the desert to shoot, we got so excited because we hadn't actually had a good shoot. So we just did a lot of shooting and not a lot of recording. Let's see. So December 31st, 2025 is the last day before the new duties kick in. It's not an urgency bill. The default rule in California Constitution makes it effective January 1st. There's no transition or grace period or grandfathered shipping window in the bill text or analysis. If you're thinking broadly, So the cutoff date for shipping without restriction is December 31st, 2025. Okay. Son of a gun. I have never, this was something we always dreaded too, was cutting a state off. We weren't happy adding American Samoa to the list, but cutting a state off from owning guns is, yeah, we're not happy about this. I'll tell you that. Wow. Fuck you, California. Oh, man. Oh, yeah, it's the ID verification thing, the whole age verification thing that really does it. The other stuff we probably could have worked around. Oh, man. All right, well, that's probably where I'm going to cut it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. Shut up, dog. So this is our SM26 turbo slide. We do need to get it to the range to test fire it, which we'll hopefully be doing over the next week. But after that, if everything goes well, it'll be added to the website. Yeah, man, get out of California as fast as you can.
Hell no, stay there. Put it back over to dummy Republican. I'm feeling close as he's retiring, so.
Yeah, but that's where we're cutting it, guys. So thanks for popping in. Thanks for the likes and subs. It's greatly appreciated. Stay 2A every day.